How to paint a rainbow in watercolor. Step 1. Get your reference. For this video, I'll be using a photo of Skogafoss Falls in Iceland, and big thank you to my friend Danielle for letting me use her picture. Now, the first thing that you need to know about rainbows is that they're luminous. They're bright. They seem to have light coming from behind them. So in watercolor, what we have to do to create that effect is to paint around where the rainbow is going to go. So you'll notice as I progress in the background here, I'm going to be leaving the silhouette or halo of where the rainbow is going to go. Everywhere that I paint, I've been pre-wetting the surface, so that way all of the color transitions to where the rainbow is are soft and misty. The next step is to load your brush with paint. Now for this I'm going to be using a stiff acrylic brush, and I'm going to use only a very little bit of paint. In fact, most of it I'm going to rub off on the palette or on my paper towel. And the next step is to paint the rainbow. Now before you do that, again, we're going to want to pre-wet the surface. So in this case I'm going to use a spray bottle and very gently mist some water down. Now with most of the paint taken off my brush, I'm going to start moving my hand in the circular motion even before I touch the paper at all. Then I'm just going to very, very gently scrape the brush across the paper, so gently that I'm barely even touching the paper at all. Next I'm going to continue heightening the red layer. Now it's time to add the next ring of color, which is yellow, obviously. After that would be green. I'm using phthalo green here, but you could also just mix your yellow with cerulean blue or ultramarine blue, and that would work just as well. After that we'll go a more violet blue, in this case ultramarine blue. Now while things are still slightly wet, I'm going to use a hot K brush to blend it out and make it nice and soft. I do want to add a slightly more violet layer at the end, so this is ultramarine blue mixed with some alizarin crimson. The last step is to finish the foreground elements of the painting. So I've got this rock in the front that I have to fill in. Now if the water is making your paper warp just a little bit, like mine is here, your rainbow may look a little bit crooked, but that's okay. If you have stretched your paper and you give it a chance to dry, it will become a nice smooth curve again as long as you painted it correctly. So don't freak out about that. And that's the finished painting. As a recap, here are some quick tips. Number 1. The atmosphere inside the rainbow should be lighter than what's outside the rainbow. Always paint around the rainbow. Always pre-wet the paper for soft, misty transitions. And use long, smooth strokes instead of short, choppy ones. That's about it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to visit watercolorguru.org and sign up for the newsletter to get free stuff. Let's all get better together.